Today we're doing something a little bit different. I tried this with the Nomad video, and honestly, I'm playing a little catch up here on my channel. So we're actually going to do 5 looks with 5 different indie palettes, and I'm so excited, you guys. All of these palettes are fun, different. I want to break them down for you as best as I can. So let's go ahead and get into the meat of this video. Okay, so I started off with this palette because of course I was so excited that Colourpop sent me a Disney collab. This is the Tangled collection, and of course I was out of town when this got delivered, so I was a little bit sad because I don't always get sent stuff by Colourpop, but it is what it is. I was still having the greatest time ever in Florida. I got this beautiful collection, and I did film reels with the rest of the collection. But in today's video, since I didn't want to make it like too long, too complicated, I just focused on the eyeshadow palette only. Now, it should be Memorial Day weekend when you guys are watching this video. So when I just checked, this palette is actually on sale. So it's usually $22, but I think it's 25% off. And this is still like a relatively new release. So if you've been contemplating it, definitely consider. Close-ups and swatches are gonna play on while I talk. But this palette is called The Best Day Ever, and like I said, it's $22. They have so many other cute things that are a part of this collection. They have the little Pascal hair clip, which my kid was literally wearing today. She's so excited about it. And this palette has beautiful shadows. So we have 12 shades, and it's been a hot minute since I tried a Colourpop palette, so I'm excited about that. And then we have the Chase Your Dream lip gloss set. You can buy it as a set, or you can buy them individually. We've got the highlighters, and yeah, it's super cute. There's also this little Tangled Pascal hairbrush that is gonna retail for $12. So fun mix of merch and makeup, which I love. Now, as far as the shades go, we have some mattes, some shimmers, and so the shade Max is a beautiful iridescent like white shade. We've got a shade called 18th Birthday, which is a beautiful brow bone kind of shade. And we've got Live Your Dream, which is a pretty purple. Eugene is another matte neutral color. Blondie is a beautiful golden shade. Totally makes sense, you know, because of her hair and stuff like that. And then Lost Princess is a beautiful lilac. Magic Hair is a golden yellow matte. Clean and Glow is a peachy golden shimmer shade. Stolen Crown is a beautiful purpley shimmer. And then I had one casualty in this palette. It's All Those Days, and it's a purple metallic shade, a darker purple. Smolder, the Smolder is a beautiful dark brown. And then we have Mother Knows Best, which is a purple. I don't want to talk too much about the performance of the shadows just yet. We'll save that till the end, but this is a total net weight of 13 grams or 0.46 ounces, distributed by Colourpop, and it's made in the USA. This is so cute, and I'm so excited to show you guys, of course, all the looks I created with each of these palettes, but yeah, so fun. Next palette we played with is the Mingo palette. This one also got to me when I was out of town, so I wasn't able to create with it, but this is so cute. So I think this is the 4th palette that I have from them. I'm not sure if this is their 4th palette total, but this is Davini Beauty. They're not really like super new to me, but one of the newer brands in my collection, so I don't have a ton of stuff from them. But so far, I've been so impressed with everything I've tried. Their eyeshadows are so pigmented, and let me tell you, this might be my favorite color story that they've done. So this is a very summer vibes palette, and I have to tell you, it totally makes sense with the inspiration. So this retails for $64. It has 15 pans, 6 shimmers, and 9 mattes, and some of these are multi-chromes, some are duochromes, but it says the palette of the summer has arrived, inspired by our beautiful city in Miami, Dade County, Gila. Gila is the only place the flamingo species has been successfully reproduced outside of its wild state. Our Mingo palette has 15 26mm magnetic square pans that include 6 shimmers and 9 highly pigmented buttery mattes. So I did not know that the pans were magnetic, so that's fun to know. And this palette doesn't feel extra heavy or anything, so just something to note in case you care. I think this packaging is so adorable. I personally think flamingos are so cute, and I love the mix of shades in here. So we have Pretty in Pink, which is a beautiful like Barbie pink shimmer shade. Guana is kind of the typical multi-chrome, that's the green shifting from like a bronze coppery to like a lighter green. BB is a white shade that has no base to it, but it has that beautiful shimmer to it. So whatever shade you put it on top of, it'll pick up that color. Sabal is a matte green. Beso Pluma is a beautiful bright pink shimmer. Crimson is a corally pink shade. Stay Palm is a green matte. It's like my favorite shade of green. Hyelia is a beautiful, beautiful shade that has like this marbling in it. It honestly looks like a sequin shirt, like a rainbow sequin shirt. I love it. Westland is a tealy green matte. Pretty Bird is a light pink shade. Featherweather is a pink shade that is a lighter shade, but it's not as light as Pretty Bird, so we've got like a gradient. Eco is a warm light green shade. Fluff is a beautiful mid-tone pink matte. Green Bay is a gorgeous shimmery multi-chromy kind of shade that has like green and pink flips to it and lots of gold sparkles. And then Flamingo is a beautiful bright pink matte. So I love this color story. Can't wait again for you guys to see the look with this palette. And yeah, all of these are a little bit different, so I'm kind of here for it. Next, I played with Smokey Glam, and this one also arrived when I was gone, so I am getting to it a little bit late, but I actually did wear this on my kid's birthday, so I have been playing with it, and it is a definite Smokey Glam palette. Kind of cool tone vibes, great for the mauve lover out there. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Sigma New Mod, but it has more deepening up shades than New Mod does. So if you guys didn't know, fun fact, there is a original Smokey Glam from the brand, and this is a more condensed version. So this one retails for $75, and I feel like the original was also quite pricey, but I did buy it. I'm pretty sure I bought that one with my own money because it was before I was on the Bella Beaute Bar PR list, but I had to have every single one of their palettes because I really love the brand so, so much. So when I did the comparison, there were a few shades that did not exist in the original palette, so they've added some new multi-chromes. They've got 5 new multi-chromes. The original only had 1. We've got 4 duochromes and 11 mattes. So this palette has 20 shades, and again, they are magnetic, so you can rearrange the palette if you like. And yeah, I'm super duper excited about this one as well. So let's talk about the shades here. We've got Lace, which is a beautiful white matte color. Angel Eyes is a mauve golden duochrome. Corset is a neutral, kind of like a berry, but a really, really light, warm berry shade. Lovebug is a beautiful matte berry shade. And then Icon is a more mauve berry shade. Milk Bath is a very similar shade to the white shade that I described in the Mingo palette. So it doesn't have a base to it, and it's like really white and sparkly. So whatever color you put it on top of, it'll absorb that. Playful is another shimmer shade that's more mauve. Cuddles is a matte mauve color. Velvet Crush is a purple shimmer. Silk Teddy is a deep purpley shimmer shade that looks like it has a lot of holographic sparkles. Pillow Fight is a pink shimmer shade. Pink Diamonds, I feel like I've seen the shade before in other palettes. It's like a duochrome that shifts from purple to like a blue, but it's like a green blue. Whisper is another mauve matte. Hypnotic is a chunky, beautiful purpley shimmer that flips blue. Night Dream is a beautiful burgundy shade. Cuffs is a very taupey, grayish matte color. Platinum is a silvery shade with lots of colorful sparkles in it. Nocturnal is a cool tone brown. Mystery is a gray shade, and then Smoked Out is a black shade. So we've got lots of options. This is honestly a really great mauve palette for somebody that loves to wear this type of shade. It's not too intimidating, which I think it's a good addition. It's a good thing to bring back to the Bella Beaute Bar line because they do have lots of fun, colorful, shimmery palettes. So I think it's important to have a good balance, a good mix in your makeup lines. And then we have palette number 4. So I played with this one just yesterday at the time I'm filming this, but this is Wicked Widow and their collab with American Psycho. Same thing here, there is a collection with this launch. So I think they did like blush duos, lipsticks, glosses, there was a bunch of stuff. I received the palette and a lip product and 2 glosses. I'm actually wearing the lip shade on my lips today because I'm not gonna lie, I kind of forgot when I was filming my look. It was a little bit late at night, so I ended up just playing with the eyeshadow palette, but I really, again, really enjoyed the look I created with this, and I really like Wicked Widow's formula. So let's talk a little bit about this palette. It retails for $66. It has 15 mattes and 5 duochromes, and oh my gosh, I kept saying I was gonna say where things are made. Okay, so on the palette itself, I can't find where this was made, but it does say the net weight is 25 grams. So I don't know with like regulation changes if they've stopped doing that, but I just want to mention that. And then for Smokey Glam, does it say on here? Pressed pigment, made in the PRC, vegan, paraben, and cruelty free. Net weight is 320 grams, or is it 0.32 grams? I'm not sure. And it says 11.2 ounces, 12-month shelf life, vegan, cruelty-free. I think I already said that. And then if I didn't mention in the Mingo one, I can't find where this one was made either, but it says it's distributed by Davini and designed in the US, 24-month shelf life, cruelty-free, and it's a net weight of 29.7 grams. So yeah, sorry about that. As per usual, Karen is not perfect. Anyways, let's talk quick about these swatches. So I had a lot of fun swatching this one as well. I'm curious to hear what you guys think of this palette because I'm wondering if some of these shades are a little too close together. Like, is Superficial really that different from Reservation? But we basically have 4 brown cool tone mattes. So Superficial, Reservation, I guess Meagre's is a little bit more warm tone, and then the News has a axe on it. Like, I love the imprints. Stray Cat is a beautiful champagne shimmer. Evie Lynn is a taupe. Paul Allen is a beige matte. Darissa is a shimmery brown. Eggshell is an eggshell shade. Bone is a white matte. Jean is a mauve. Insane is a gray. Patrick Bateman is a beautiful electric blue. Frenzy is that duochrome shade that I'm sure a lot of you have. It shifts from blue to purple. And Detective Kimball is a cool tone blue. Killer is a beautiful mid-tone red. Envy is a green shimmer. Greed is a cool tone green. Double Life is a cool tone green that is very muted. And we've got Maine, which also reminds me of the shimmer shade that I just talked about in Smokey Glam and in Mingo. Actually, now I just need to swatch them all because I didn't really like put that together in my head at the same time when I was talking to you guys about it. And now I'm like, wait, am I crazy? Or, I mean, the textures are a little bit different and some of them shift different. So the one from Wicked Widow has like a more blue shift to it, and then this one has a more green. And then let's see what the Smokey Glam one is like. This is so funny. Wow. Okay, so the Mingo palette has pink and green. The Smokey Glam one is more green, and then the Wicked Widow one is a more blue shifting shade. And I'm definitely not the one to sit here and compare things, but I just really noticed that and it's funny. Okay, let's just do Max too. This one feels completely different, like texture wise, from Colourpop, but that one is more of a peachy shift and doesn't feel anything like the ones from the indie, well, the smaller indie brands. Is Colourpop still considered indie? I think so, but anyway, that was really fun to do that. But yeah, that is the American Psycho palette from Wicked Widow. And then palette number 5, I honestly definitely want to create more with this palette because holy shit, you guys, this is like me in a palette. And again, I love Bella Beaute Bar, so I was so excited when I saw a sneak peek of this. And I thought I had more time, but then I realized that this is getting revealed today when you're seeing the video, and I only had today to film with it. So I'm gonna do that and I'm gonna create a look. But this palette is so gorgeous. So it is launching on the 29th, which is next Thursday at 11 a.m. Central Time. And it's the Ocean Jewel palette from Bella Beaute Bar. It's got 20 shades, 12 mattes, and 8 shimmers. And I am so excited. So I don't know how much this is, but I'm going to guess it's going to be around $75 because it has the most beautiful special shades in it. So I swatched this a little bit different. I just want to say, like, to me, like, this is the top of the palette. Look at my fancy post-it note. This is the top of the palette, but to me, I like it when it goes from light to dark. So I swatched it from light to dark. So we actually went like this. No, I went this way, and then I think I went this way. So it's going to be a little chaotic, but it just made sense in my head. And I love the light shades. Like, this palette, like these two rows, maybe even this one, like, this is such a cute 15 pan color story. So let me tell you my shade descriptions the way I swatched it, and then we can get into the looks with each of the palettes. So I started off with Starfish, and that's a beautiful periwinkle. Oyster is a periwinkle shimmer shade. Sea Glass is a minty color. Luminescence is a bright green color. Sundial is a bright yellowy neon shade. Mother of Pearl is a kind of silvery green shifty shadow. Nautilus, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, is a gorgeous shimmery aqua blue. Sunken Treasure is a matte aqua shade. Fleur de la Mar is a matte purple. Abalone is a shifty, purpley, pinky, metallic. I've definitely seen this shade before in other palettes, but it's there, so of course it is absolutely beautiful. The next shade is a mid-tone purple. Colorful Moon is a purple shimmer that has that like blue shift to it. Necra is a beautiful multi-chrome. That's the multi-chrome with like a black base, so it shifts from like blue to purple. I know it's one of the first types of multi-chromes that we saw brands come out with. Shark's Eye is a deeper multi-chrome. Tortoise is a matte deep brown. Conch is a taupe color. Shipwreck is a dark green. Jellyfish is a navy. Submerge is a dark purple. And then the last shade, Heart of the Ocean, which is the shade at the top of the palette, is a dark purple metallic. So those are all the swatches of the Ocean Jewel palette. I'm so excited to dig into each of these palettes. I have looks. I'm going to have timestamps for everything down below. I have codes with most of the brands in this video, so it's usually KH Makeup. If you want to save some extra money on these purchases, it also helps me out because I do make a commission, so super duper appreciative, but feel free to use the timestamps. Watch whatever look floats your boat, and yeah, let's get into the first look. I'm going to start off with this shade called Mother Knows Best, and I'm going to put that all over my crease. Next, I'm going to take the shade Lost Princess and use that to buff out the shade Mother Knows Best. Okay, so I kind of applied that super messy on my lids. I'm going to take the shade Stolen Crown and put that all over the lid. The shade felt very thick when I was swatching it, so let's see how it applies on the lid. It almost had like a super shock texture to it. Wow, that is so pretty on the lids. It's got some beautiful sparkle to it. Okay, I love that on my lids. Now I'm going to take a little bit of this metallic shade called All Those Days, and I just want to put a little bit of that on the outer portion of the lid, just to give it a little bit more depth. Okay, looks very cute. Now I just need to line the lower lash line quick and probably deepen up the outer corner a little bit more. Okay, so I'm going to take a pencil brush and I'm going to go into the shade called Blondie, which is a super pretty like goldeny yellow shade, and I think I'm going to pop that right here on the inner corner. That is such a pretty color. Really nice formula. So easy to work with. And then I'm going to go into the shade called Mother Knows Best, and that's the shade I used on my crease, and I'm just going to run that on the lower lash line. And then I'm going to go into the deepening up shade called the Smolder, and I'm just going to run that on the lower lash line, outer corner, and just blend in to the outer corner of the top lid as well. And then I'm going to go in with the blending brush I was using for the purple shade. Going to go into the Smolder and just add that on the outer edge just to kind of deepen things up a little bit. The deeper purple shade, I really can't really call it a deep purple. The mid-tone purple shade is just not enough, but when you pair it with the shade the Smolder, it seems to deepen things up a lot and just give it like a sultry vibe, which I love so much. Okay, I think the look is done, so I'm gonna go ahead and throw on some mascara, finish up my makeup, and I'm probably gonna film some reels with the lip glosses and the highlighters from this collection, so definitely make sure you're checking out my Instagram or even my YouTube shorts for how those applied and everything, and maybe I'll give you guys some first impressions over there. But yeah, let me finish up this look and I'll be right back to show you the look with the Best Day Ever palette from Colourpop. Okay friends, so here is the finished look. I had to wear my Pascal hair clip. I mean, it looks like he's perched on my shoulder, right? So my kids are definitely going to be fighting for this. I already know it. But I really like how this look turned out. It's definitely more of a soft glam vibe. So let me tell you really quick what else is on my face. So I did dig into some of the other parts of this collection. I filmed some lip swatches for a short, so definitely keep an eye out on my YouTube shorts. I will post these 3 swatches of these ultra glossy lips from Colourpop. I'm also wearing the 2 highlighter shades from the collection on each of my cheeks, so that was fun to try out. And then I'm also wearing a new blush product. So this is from Fui, and these are their pudding pots. I think they have like so many shades, and I've been dying to try this, and I finally bit the bullet and bought a shade. So this is the shade Fave, and it's a beautiful red kind of burnt shade. So I'm super excited to own this, and I can't wait to keep wearing it. I've heard such good things, so that is what is on my face. And then for foundation, I'm wearing the About Face foundation. I haven't used this in a hot second, so I thought it would be fun to try this out. And I have it in the shade MO2, which is a olive shade. And my concealer is the Estee Lauder Double Wear Concealer. I've been wearing this a ton. Love it so much. The shade is 4N. And then for bronzer, this has been my combo for a while now. This is the Dior bronzer in the shade 40 and the Say Beauty liquid bronzer in the shade Swim. I feel like I should have hit pan on this already because I just use it so much. And then I have been trying to pan the Charlotte Tilbury powder. Look at the progress. I use it every time I sit down to film, which I probably could use it more if I put it in my Shop My Stash. Anyway, this is the Glossier eye pencil, and I use the shade Muse in my waterline today. I don't usually talk about my eyeliner shades, but since this is such a pretty light purple shade, I figured I'd mention it in case you were on the hunt for a perfect, pretty purpley eyeliner. So that is everything on my face today. This is the look. So now let's go ahead and get into another look with another palette. Let's start off with some green. I think I'm going to start off with the darkest shade here. I'm going to grab this little E27 brush from Sigma. I'm going to start off with the shade Sabal. And I just want to tap that right here on the outer corner. Okay, next I want to go into the shade called Stay Palm right here. It's like a beautiful, what kind of green is this? I feel like it's almost like a true green. And I'm just gonna go right over the deeper shade with it and create a bit of a gradient. Okay, I had way too much fun building up that shade. Now I want to do some of the pinks. So I'm going to start off with the shade Flamenco, which is a really pretty bright pink. And I'm just going to pop that right here on the inner corner. And I'm trying to blend it as little as possible and just kind of pack it on. Wow, that is probably one of the most pigmented mattes I've ever experienced. Okay, so I want to pair this look with some lighter mattes on the outer perimeter. So what I'm going to do is take the light pink shade called Fluff, and I'm just going to use that right here on the edge to just kind of blend a little bit more. Okay, and then I'm going to take the shade Eco and do the same thing on the green side. Holy moly, it looks wild. So for the lid shade, I think we're going to use the shade Helia or something. Helia? I don't know. This one. It's like a beautiful marbly shade with tons of sparkle. And I wonder if it'll... Oh yeah. Pick up on my finger. Look at how sparkly that is. Oh, that's so pretty. That is so pretty. Ah! I'm grabbing it on this big flat brush from Sigma, and I kind of just want to pack it on the middle of the lid right here. Doing the same thing on this eye. Wow, that is so pretty. And I'm going to take a little bit of the shade... I think I'm going to use BB on the... No, I'm going to use that on the inner corner. So I'm going to grab a little bit of probably Pretty in Pink on the inner portion of the lid. So I'm going to put that right here. Okay, and then for the outer corner, I'm just going to bring that metallic shade all the way to the edge here. Just kind of leave it like that. It's so sparkly. I'm so happy right now. So we're going to line the waterline quick and finish up the lower lash line. Okay, so I got my handy dandy pencil brush, and now I'm going to go into the shade BB, which is this beautiful, like iridescent, very sparkly white shade. So I'm going to see how that looks on the inner portion of my inner corner. That's pretty. Okay, I love that little pop of like almost like a white on the inner corner. And then I'm gonna grab the shade Fluff, which is the beautiful lighter pink that I used kind of to buff out the outer edge. And then I'm gonna take Stay Palm, which is a really pretty green shade that I used in my crease, and I'm going to slowly bring that up to the outer corner. And I'm going to take my little blending brush and go into Stay Palm, and I'm just going to pack a little bit of it on, and I'm going to take a little bit of that lighter green shade again. Just kind of bump a bit of it on the upper and outer corner. Oh my gosh, she's giving Mardi Gras. She's giving fierce, colorful queen. So let's see what I can pick out for a blush, highlighter, all the things. And I'll be right back to show you guys the finished look. Okay, friends, so here is the finished look. I love it so much. Let's go over what is on my face in case you guys are a little bit curious. I tried to switch it up a little bit, but some of these are repeat products. So let's start off with foundation. I'm wearing the Hourglass Soft Glow Foundation, and I grabbed my summer shade. This is shade 12. And then for concealer, I decided to go with this NARS concealer. Haven't used it in a hot second, and I loved it so much when I used it during my Shop My Stash a few months ago. So this is the Soft Matte Complete Concealer in the shade Biscuit. Also had to use a little bit of my Sigma color corrector. You guys know that's like one of my holy grail products. My bronzer combo today is from Rare Beauty. This is the Liquid Contour. I just put it on as a bronzer. I'm wearing the shade Serene, and the Pat McGrath bronzer. This is the shade Bronze Divinity. Love that so much. And then for blush and highlighter, I decided to wear a pink blush, which usually I'm not the biggest fan of pink blush, but I decided since this was called a Mingo palette, I had to go with a pink blush. So this is Think Pink from Glaminatrix. It's their powder cream duo. And for highlighter, I'm wearing the shade Coral Glow from Dior. I think this is old. I don't think this is available, or maybe they repackaged it. Who knows? But that is my highlighter for the day. And then lip combo is this e.l.f. lip liner. It's just a dark brown shade, and I paired it with the shade Pascal from the Tangled Disney collab with Colourpop. This is so pretty. Obviously, if you pair it with a lip liner, you're not going to see the very slight green hue that it has to it, but super pretty, very glossy lip glosses. Those Colourpop ones, I did do a swatch video, so I'll probably post it up as a short on YouTube. And then I'm also wearing my Prada eyeliner. This isn't like the perfect shade for the waterline with this look, but I thought since this was like a minty green, it would pop with kind of these deeper colors around my eyeballs. And then I'm just using my Charlotte Tilbury powder, slowly trying to pan that. So that is everything on my face. What do you guys think of this look? Let's get into another look with another palette. Okay, we're gonna film a look with the Smokey Glam palette from Bella Beaute Bar. I'm so pumped because I actually wore this already to my kid's birthday party. It was at our house, but this is such a cute palette for everyday glam mauve looks. So I think a lot of you will really enjoy this and want to pick it up. So I'm going to try and do a similar look to what I did that day, but it's a cute palette, and I think I'm going to turn this series into a video called One Shirt and 4 Looks with the same shirt or something like that, because I literally put this shirt on just to film. And so this is now my 3rd day filming in this shirt, and I was like, why not? It could be kind of fun, because also the looks are all so different and with like such different palettes, but they all seem to somehow work with this look. So I'm taking the shade Icon, which is a really pretty plummy matte color, and I'm just swirling that all over my crease. I actually got the new Ocean Jewel palette that Bella Beaute Bar is launching, I think close to the end of this month, in the mail today, and I can't wait to dig into it. But I also really want to finish up this series because I have the Wicked Widow palette, the American Psycho collab, that I want to do a look with it, so that I have 4 looks in this video. And then I have the new Lethal and Adventure Time collection to play with as well. So I have a few things planned out, and then once I do that, I think I'm going to be pretty good and caught up. So I'll have to think of things to do after that, so you guys will have to let me know what kind of content you might like to see from me, because I rarely ever have a break between palettes. And so when I do, it feels like it's a chance to just like revisit things. Although I know I'm actually getting the Game Beauty collection too, the Street Fighter collection. I have it coming a little bit late, so maybe I can do 5 looks for this collection or for this series and just include that in this video as well. I haven't watched my friends' videos on that palette yet because I want to like give you guys my opinions without being influenced, but I have seen some swatches of the lip products and they look very neon, so I'm very curious about that. But I just used the shade Silk Titty, which is such a pretty like holo deep purple shade, and I kind of focus that closer to the outer portion of my eyelids. And then I think I'm going to go into Playful. I'm pretty sure I didn't use Iconic Photo in my look for my kid's birthday, but I have a little bit more time, so I figure I might as well try and play around with the colors a little bit more. I saw that Starbucks just launched their new summer menu, So I want to know from you guys if you've tried any of the new drinks. I don't know if it makes sense for them to take cherry chai off the menu or if it'll stick around, but I think that was like a limited drink. So little bummed that cherry chai is no longer going to be available, but this eye look is looking very fire. I think I might deepen up the outer corner, but first I want to throw a liner into the lower lash line and probably pop something in the inner corner as well. Okay, so I lined my lower lash line with my Glossier purple eyeliner, and I'm taking the shade Lace, which is a pretty white eyeshadow, and I did spray it a little bit just so it would be super pigmented on the inner corner. And I don't know, I saw my friend Angie use white in the inner corner when we were at Creators and Friends, and I think she even did it in New York when we were there, and I just thought it brightened up her inner corner so much that it kind of inspired me to do it too, and I feel like it looks like I'm so much more awake when I do that. So I don't know, I was just feeling it. So I'm going to take Icon and I'm just going to run it along the rest of the lower lash line. I'm feeling very chatty today, but I don't really know what to talk to you guys about, so I should probably keep my mouth shut. But I did say that I was going to post my eyeshadow palette collection video on YouTube tomorrow. So when you're seeing this, it's probably closer to the weekend, or maybe I somehow miraculously get this video up on like Friday. Most likely though it'll be Saturday or maybe even Sunday. If you haven't seen it, because let's be real, YouTube doesn't always show us every video. Even if you are like me and you're subscribed and you have notifications turned on and stuff like that with your favorite YouTubers, sometimes it doesn't come up. So if you get the chance, if you have 2.5 hours of uninterrupted time in your life, which I feel like probably not many of us do, but you know what you can do is go on there and put it on your watch later. I do that all the time. I'll put things on my watch later, and then when I'm done with things or I have time where I can actually sit and look at the screen, I'll go on my watch later and I'll watch other videos that I meant to watch. So I just buffed out that purple a little bit more, and then I'm taking this brush, which I used in my look with the Davini Beauty palette. It's an E27. It's a smaller E25 from Sigma, and it's great for a little bit more precision. And so I'm using it in the shade Smoked Out, which is the black shadow, and I'm just blending that out on the outer corner. I probably won't be able to film tomorrow because I'm actually going to a trivia night, a 90s trivia night with my friend, and I'm excited. I don't usually make plans. Like, I'm so bad at making plans during the week because I am a stay-at-home mom, and usually I don't really have like defined work hours. Obviously, I don't stop being a mom when my husband comes home, and like I'm not like, okay, you just do everything with the kids now because it's your time, because he's tired too. So it's really hard for us to balance, but he's a great dad because he definitely encourages me to try and get out. And I know that if I ever asked, he would always like try to accommodate. So I'm gonna go to trivia night with my friend. Hopefully we'll win. I know she's really good at pop culture, and I feel like I have a decent memory, so I feel like we might do okay. But yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be fun to catch up. We actually went to breakfast the other day, which was also so fun. We had it like in our calendars. And so we went and had breakfast at this really cute place downtown. And I had breakfast lasagna, which was so delicious. Anyway, I'm loving this eye look. It's definitely more smoky and intense than the way I did it for my kid's birthday party. but honestly, I'm not mad about it. I like it. And I'm just taking the shade Cuddles and just buffing it a little bit more. I did do comparisons to the original, and so there's a couple of shades that are different, but we'll talk about that at the end. And I'll show you the palette as well. But yeah, overall, this is so cute. And if you don't have the original, then this could be the perfect excuse to pick up the new version. I'm going to go ahead and finish up this look, and I'll be right back to show it to you. Okay, friends, so here is the finished look. What do we think? I really like how it turned out, and it's definitely a more muted color story than what I feel like I'm usually in for with Bella Beaute Bar, but I know they have a really fun, colorful palette coming next, so I'm okay, I know. And honestly, this is so beautiful. I think it works really well with my skin tone, so I'm very happy to have Smokey Glam version 2. Let me just go over really quick what is on my face today so we can get into another look. So I decided to switch it up, and I pulled out my Prada foundation. This is a little light on me, but I bronzed up and made it work. I used my NARS concealer because that was just so good yesterday. Same with the Rare Beauty liquid bronzer, and I pulled out my House Labs bronzer to go with it. This is the shade Amber Horizon. It's a medium shade, so I'm excited to have that because this is the new version. I don't know if it got repackaged or what, but I have never had that, so I was excited to purchase in the Sephora sale. And then for blush and highlighter, I'm wearing the Rare Beauty blush in the shade Happy. This is such a pretty pinky shade. And then for highlighter, I decided to use this Laura Mercier Bronze Color Infusion product, and it's the number 30 Canes. I think this is too light for me. I think I might actually take this back. It doesn't really inspire me much, and it wasn't exactly cheap, so I think I might take it back because I'm not really loving it, and I think it's a little too light for me. And then my lip combo is kind of random, but I use Carnage, I think, from Unearthly. No, this is Bad Blood from Unearthly, and I paired it with the So Juicy lip from Colourpop, and this is the shade... Does it say up here? It is the shade... I don't know. Oh, here it is. It's on the back. Oh my gosh. Love. L.O.V.E is the shade. So I paired those two together to create this look. So that is it. And now let's get into another look. We're on to look number 4. And as I commented about my pink shirt in look number 3, I decided to wear a different shirt for look number 4 because I thought it would actually match the colors in this palette really well. So we're gonna do, I think we're gonna try and do a red and blue look. Let's see how it pans out. I really thought I wasn't gonna get to film tonight, but I actually went out for trivia with a friend, and she invited some friends, and we had so much fun, and I had the most delicious nachos ever. And I actually got home at like before 9. I was gonna say 8:30, but I think it was just mostly before 9. And I was like, let me power through, let me film look number 4, and then I'm gonna do a 5th look with another palette, and I'm gonna do 5 looks, 5 palettes, which I'm so excited about. I don't know if I've ever done 5 looks, 5 palettes, but I misjudged when the new Bella Beaute Bar palette was going to be revealed, and I would do a video on it solo. I feel like it's more fun to do multiple palettes, multiple looks, and since I had multiple looks with some other palettes filmed already, I figured I'd just make it a big extravaganza of palettes. And I'm going to timestamp so you can like hop around to each palette as well. So yeah, let me know what you think. I know that some of these palettes have been out for a minute, and maybe some you might not be interested in, but it's a fun way to knock out reviews or like first impressions of palettes that I have, and you know, still be able to give you guys some thoughts if you're still thinking about these or whatever. it's always something good to refer back to. So that shade is Patrick Bateman. It's a really pretty like cerulean blue. And then I thought I would use Killer on the outer portion of this look. And I'm definitely going with Memorial Day vibes. So we'll see how that works out. But I don't know what I was expecting with this palette. But I feel like this was not it in a good way. I like the cool tone, muted, colorful shades in this palette. So I think it's kind of an interesting palette. It reminds me a little bit of the Glamlight palette. I can't remember if it's like their Friday the 13th or what palette, but I do really like Wicked Widow's formula. And obviously, if you're a horror fan, you know, people really look forward to these IP collabs from them. So let me know if this was one that you were really excited about. I actually don't even know if this palette is in stock when I'm filming this, but I will definitely put links, codes, anything I can find down below for you guys. And I have their Crow palette, which was such a fun release, and I really love their formula. I love the pigmentation and stuff like that. So I'm really happy that I have another palette from them to try. And their Haunted palette, whatever their last one was, that was the greens, and the orangey palette, that was really good too. So really enjoy playing with Wicked Widow's formula. So that is what the eyelids are looking like. Before I slap on a shimmer shade, I think I'm going to finish up the lower lash line quick, and then we're going to play with the shimmers at the end. I did get a couple of new eyeliners over my last few trips, and I got these Bare Mineralist eyeliners, and this is the shade Sapphire. So I'm going to try this out in the waterline. I've never tried this formula before, but I'm very curious. Okay, so that was really creamy and beautiful, so I really enjoyed that. And now I want to grab my favorite little pencil brush and apply some matte shades. Okay, so let's start off with the inner corner. I think I'm going to use the shade called Wayne. It's a really pretty, like, white shimmer shade. It doesn't really have a base to it, so I think it's going to really pop in the inner corner. As always, we got to give it a little spray. I'm just gonna put it right there, and it's of course gonna pull from that blue shadow that I have in the crease, and I'm just gonna bring it along the waterline just a little bit. And then I want to take the shade Patrick Bateman, which is that really pretty blue shade, and I'm just gonna run that right along the lash line. Cute! It's such a pretty blue. And then I of course have to take Killer and run that right along the edge of the outer corner and up into the outer crease, just to give it some continuity. Okay, this is looking really fun and intense, so I want to play with the shade Frenzy and Dorisa on the lid. So I think I'll start with Dorisa and then add Frenzy kind of to the inner portion of the lid. And I really love this Sigma brush. This is part of the Sigma and Shayla brush set. And oh my gosh, they were on like a really good deal a few years ago. So I think I bought like 2 sets, but this like really chunky shader brush, it's called a large shader, is so nice at picking up shimmers. So let's start off with Dorisa. These metallics just feel like ones that are going to pick up really nicely on a brush. So you get a nice spray, and I just wanted to use that on the outer portion of my lid, kind of keeping it right where that red shade is on the lid. And then I want to add the blue to really pump it up. So next we're going to grab Frenzy, which is honestly like a really pretty duochrome blue purple shifting metallic, and I'm just going to pop that right on the inner portion of the lid. Okay, this is so fun. I don't think I've done this color combo in a while, so I really love it. I'm gonna throw on some more makeup, put on some mascara, and I will be right back to show you guys the finished look. Okay friends, here is the finished look. I just want to let you guys know that my hair was super cute yesterday. I curled it with my beach waver. I got one in my goodie bag when I went to YouTube last week. No, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. I don't know. Anyway, got a new beach waver, had fun playing with it, but I was wearing my hair up and it was like hurting my skull. I don't know how I developed this like crazy sensitivity on my scalp, but it was really hurting me. So I had to take my hair down last night and my hair's back to being a hot mess. So this is the look we're rocking with right now for the hair. But anyways, let me go ahead and tell you really quick what else is on my face today in case you guys are nosy. I tried to switch it up, but some of the stuff are repeat stuff because it's just that good. So for my lips today, I'm actually wearing this product that I got from Fui. I was going to do like a little video as a short or something, but I'm so tired. So this is the shade. I think it's called, I want to say it's called Scotch. I can't remember, but I was watching my friend Heather. She did a video about Fui and I had been waiting because I actually got to try out one of the pudding pots when I was at her house last month. And so yeah, I also bought one of the lip glossy things and it's really pretty, super comfortable, very glossy, and I love the shade. So I will link it down below for you guys. And then I'm wearing the blush again. This is the shade Fave. Such a pretty like red burned kind of look. So I was gonna wear, actually I forgot, I was gonna wear the new one from Salt New York, but I totally forgot. So wearing those two Fui products, and then I paired it with this lip liner from Mented. This is such a pretty shade. It's called Lala, and I will link that too. I'll link everything if I can. And then for foundation today, I'm wearing the Dior Stick Foundation. This is in the shade 4N, and I'm wearing my NARS concealer, which I love so much. And then for bronzer and highlighter, I'm wearing the Rare Beauty bronzer, the House Labs bronzer, and then I use the NYX Buttermelt highlighter. This is in the shade Glazed Butter. So that is everything that's on my face today. And now let's get into the last look of this video. You know, I used my Sigma eyeshadow primer, which I use all the time, the Ignite primer, when I'm filming for YouTube, but I have these little, what are these called? The color cases from Made by Mitchell, and I really want to play with the lighter shades in the Ocean Jewel palette, so why not use these? And this is the vibe we're gonna go for, is blue and purple, I think. So I might as well try and help out my eyeshadow, which I never do, but I feel like I need to do better, especially with how much I love to do colorful eye looks. So I'm gonna go into Fleur de Lamar, which is that gorgeous mid-tone purpley color, and it's going right here in my crease. I don't know if you guys saw, but Bella Beaute Bar is having a 25% off sale on their site. I think it's still running when this video comes up. So if you've been eyeing anything from them other than this palette, I think it's a great time to snag their stuff. I have a Bella Beaute Bar playlist if you guys want to scope out any of the palettes or swatches or anything like that, but they have had a good formula for a while now. I remember when I first tried them, I hated the palette, but I don't even think they sell that palette anymore. So all the new ones are so good. And then I'm going to go into Sunken Treasure, which is this gorgeous aqua blue. My older daughter is obsessed with, older makes it sound like she's 15. She's not. My oldest daughter is obsessed with aqua. Just every time I see a light blue shade, I think of her and the way she says, like, is it aqua, mom? It's so cute. Anyways, this color, phenomenal. It's so pretty. I don't really know why I'm trying to blend so much. I should just be like tapping. Tap, 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 tap. Okay, I love how this is looking. So I might deepen up the outer corner a little bit, although I was really feeling inspired to do something a little bit more light and less smoky, but we'll see because my mind changes all the time. So I think I'm gonna go with, what lid shade do I want to use? I think we might use the shade Nautilus? Oh my god. I think that might be a fun switch up because it's like this beautiful, bright, blue, lighter shade, and I don't know, I'm just feeling like this might be the one. Okay, love that. And then I think I'm gonna take a little bit of Oyster and pop it on the inner part. Oh gosh, this is so pretty and glowy. My plans involve a long walk at Costco today, so obviously I'm gonna look like a mer queen when I'm walking through these Costco aisles, but I'm living for the vibes, and now I need to line the lower lash line so we can finish off this look. Okay, so I just used this Supernova Multichrome Gel Liner from Moira in the shade Phoenix. And I had bought these when I was trying out Moira. I did a video, I think, using like a full face from them or something close. And so it was fun to try this out because I haven't used it in a while. And it was really pretty, like light green shade in the lower lash line. And I am thinking I might become a pop of color girly and use one of these shades in the lower lash line, like a green shade. So I'm going to take a little pencil brush and I'm going to go back into the color case. And I'm going to take this little neon green and I'm going to use it as a base for the lower lash line as well. And these are just, you know, ways to make your eyeshadow pop a little bit more, or at least what I imagine would be a way to make my eyeshadow pop just a little bit more. So I'm using this to maybe help the green kind of stick to my actual waterline. And I'm going to go into the shade Luminescence and I'm just going to kind of like pack it on top. Okay, I love it. It's nice and vibrant, exactly how I wanted it. And then I'm going to take Sunken Treasures and I'm just going to blend it a little bit just so that there is some continuation there. Cute! And then I think I'm going to be a little bit daring and go into the purpley shade. This one, it's a little bit darker, and let's see if that'll help our outer corner at all. Just to help it like deepen it up a little bit. Okay, I don't think my eye look needed that, but I'm gonna have to blend it away. I'm just gonna leave it. Leave it alone, leave it alone, leave it nice and bright and blue. And then I just need an inner corner shade. And for that, I think I'm gonna go into this shade called Mother of Pearl. And we'll see if that'll work out with this look. I'm not 100% sure, but it's like a really pretty silvery, sparkly holo shade. So it's a little bit over the top. It's sparkly. It's beautiful. I love it. I knew I was going to love it. I'm going to throw on some mascara, find some blush, find some highlighter, and I will be right back to show you guys the finished look. Okay, friends, so here is the finished look. What do we think? I kind of forgot I had these earrings. I think I got them from Zara forever ago, and I was like, okay, these are iconic. This palette is iconic. I need to put them together. So this is the finished look. Let's go ahead and go over what is on my face. I did use some of the same things that I have been using, and I also tried to grab some new things. So I used the Hourglass primer again. Still feel like I don't get the hype with this, so kind of regret buying it, but I'll probably just keep using it. And then for my face today, I have to keep going back to this NARS concealer. I really enjoy it, and it just goes on so beautifully and really smooths out under my under eyes. And then I went drugstore with my foundation today. This is the Maybelline Superstay foundation. It's a Lumi Matte and it's in the shade 312. I'm pretty sure I saw a few of my friends travel with this foundation. So I was like, I get it, it's good, but I definitely need to use mine more. So I decided to start today. And then for bronzer combo, I'm sticking to the Rare Beauty bronzer. I think this is beautiful. And then I'm wearing Hula Caramel. And the day I'm filming this video, the Makeup by Mario bronzers just came to Sephora. So I think I might pick one or two shades up because I love a good bronzer. And then for blush, I decided to try this new shade out from Salt New York. I need to grab my little thing here. So this is a new shade called Cocoa Verdard. I'm not going to butcher it, but I will link this for you guys. So it's the most beautiful bronzer shade, and I could see myself wearing this all summer long. And you can get these compacts or you can put them in like a quad from Salt New York. They sent this to me in PR and I'm super excited to have it. It's so beautiful. And then for highlighter, I went crazy with the green highlighters. So I started off with Sour from Cliona, but then I remembered the Green Goddess highlighter that they came out with for their Green Goddess palette. So yeah, we've got a lot of green highlighter on today, which is totally fine. And then my lip combo, I have the Makeup Forever lip pencil on. This is Limitless Brown. And then I went in with the Wicked Widow. This is the shade Psycho. It's a really pretty, like, chocolatey brown. And then my lips were feeling a little bit dry, probably because I haven't really moisturized them. So I paired it with the Fui lip gloss that I tried just the other day. So that is everything that is on my face. Okay, so now that you've seen all 5 looks, I'm going to go ahead and rank my palettes and just give you guys my first thoughts on all 5 of them. I will say that it's so hard to rank because I could probably re-rank them different ways depending on the categories, but I'm trying to decide between the price, the color story, and of course the formula, and a little bit of the packaging too. So it's really a tough call because all of these are so different. And I'll probably say in 5th place is the Tangled palette. I love this packaging, 10 out of 10. This is one of my favorite Disney movies to watch with my kids. So I love that. I think this is a great price point, $22. It's not too pricey. And you can pick this up on a sale if you want to save even more money. Or I think this collection also came to Ulta. So if you want to grab it there, great product. And Colourpop always just makes really good affordable palettes. Okay, so my purple shade is slowly deteriorating here, so I'm not going to hold this up. I will say this isn't like the great Colourpop formula. It's very okay. The color story is lovely. And I have come to the realization that not every eyeshadow look needs to be intense and over the top. And so I think this is a great palette for that. The shimmers felt really lovely. There's these like special shimmers in this palette that are a little bit more of the type of shimmer that I like. They're a little more foily and a little bit more sparkly. So that is the type of shadow I used on the eyes for this palette when I created the look with it. So overall, I really like the look. I think this has a bit of versatility. Love the theme. So this is in 5th place. Okay, my 4th place pick is the American Psycho palette. Only because this is so cool tone for me, and it's just a little bit more, I don't want to call it boring. I just think this is not my preference when it comes to colorful shadows. I think it totally fits the theme. I think the packaging is gorgeous. 10 out of 10. I don't know if some of you might think this is too big for a palette. I personally don't mind the size at all, and I think it's really cool. I am not like a big fan of this movie franchise by any means, but I'm guessing if you are, you're probably really into this, and I just think it's fun. It's a little different, and yeah, overall, I really like Wicked Widow's eyeshadow formula, and I think this one is straight on par with the other palettes I've tried from them. I thought this was a beautiful palette and I really enjoyed the look I created with this. I think it's very like Memorial Day weekend appropriate. So that's in 4th place. And then in 3rd place, I'm going to give it to Smokey Glam. And you guys, I love Bella Beaute Bar, but this color story for me is just a little less exciting. It's beautiful. I know the Mauve girls out there are gonna reach for this palette over and over again, and the metallics are stunning. And I've used this palette, like I used it to wear on my kid's birthday, denim dress with like a pink shirt underneath, so it totally complemented the look and it totally made sense. But as far as like what truly like gets me salivating, this isn't it. So that's why it's in third place. I will also say that if I was basing this ranking just off of packaging, this would probably be in the 5th spot because I think the Tangled packaging is so cute. And I do think the Wicked Widow palette packaging is just like a little bit more interesting. Obviously it's an IP, so that kind of made sense to me in my brain. Okay, second place is Davini. I will say that I think this is pretty packaging, but for the fact that the theme is flamingo and they didn't go like more pink, I'm like, you know, maybe that could have been fun. But it's not the end of the world. The most exciting part for me is definitely the color story. This is so fun, vibrant, and I think these mattes and shimmers really hold up. They're so vibrant, they're so easy to work with, and they just are chef's kiss. So I'm super impressed with this brand. I think this is such a fun color story. I know I saw people comparing this to other palettes, but I just think on its own, it really holds a spot and it's an eye-catching palette and I had no problems working with it. So they're definitely on my radar as a brand that I'm going to be like buying every launch from because so far they haven't disappointed me, and I think this is so cute. I love wearing pink eyeshadow and I love green eyeshadow, so pink and green together just makes sense, and so that is in my second place. So of course that means first place goes to Ocean Jewel, and I think this is kind of an all-rounder. I love the packaging. Yes, it's not like the Tangled or the Psycho palettes, but it's really fun. I love that Babylonian shell, I think that's what it's called, shell pack, like inspired packaging. And you guys know greens, purples, blues, those are my tones. So this is literally me in an eyeshadow palette. I love it, and I love Beaute Bar's formula. They're one of my favorite indie brands when it comes to formula, so they get 10 out of 10 for that. Love the color story. I could definitely see myself rearranging this, like if I didn't review and constantly talk about palettes on my channel, I would probably rearrange it from light to dark because I think to me it just makes sense like this. Like that's how I see it in my brain. So yeah, not the end of the world. That's the only thing, but I think, you know, it's fun for brands to switch it up. Packaging's great. The color story, I like the size. I guess the only thing is if it is $75 or more, which I could see it being like $75, it is on the more expensive end as far as all the palettes we talked about today. So definitely something to keep in mind if you're not wanting to spend $75. I get it because I remember when I bought some of my Beaute Bar palettes and I was like, oh my god, that's so much money. But I really enjoy having all the palettes that I have, so no regrets. If I could go back in a time machine and, you know, try all these palettes again, I would, because I think they're all equally interesting. They're just different in different sort of ways, and I hope that I kind of helped you guys narrow it down if you are considering some or all of these palettes. And yeah, I would love to hear from you guys. Which look was your favorite? I always get such a kick out of hearing your guys' votes. And also let me know what was your favorite palette from these 5 palettes. What's your favorite brand? Do you already own any palettes from them? I love getting to know more about what you guys are interested in the comments. So please leave a comment. Give this video a thumbs up, and if you're looking for a video of mine to enjoy, might I recommend my 2025 eyeshadow palette collection video? I worked on this thing for way too long and it's finally live on my channel. So please, if you have some time, if you have a spare 2.5 hours, please check out my 600 plus eyeshadow palette collection video. It should be popping up for you right here or maybe over here. I don't know, but click it, watch it when you have some time, and I will see you in new makeup releases on Tuesday. Bye, friends!